fine.
Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101, the premier podcast that definitely never talks about Dexter in the pre-show. I'm FuFuCuddilyPoof, and thank you for listening. This is level 117.
Dexter? That show's like 10 years old.
And it's coming back. That guy's Big L that just said something before I introduced him.
No, listen, if you're going to talk about Dexter, you got to do it right.
Dexter's Lab.
That guy's Nate.
Which is way more than 10 years old.
Laboratory.
And that's Corey. See, I didn't watch Dexter, so I know nothing about this.
What? Dexter's Laboratory?
Yeah, I never watched it.
DD.
Actually, I watched like episodes here and there. It never really like clicked with me.
All right, so if Dexter has to go to the bathroom, what's that called?
See, we should have a game called Dexter or Dexter's Lab. And we just discuss plot points and figure out which
lavatory. Come on, Nate.
This is primetime Cartoon Network. Right. You didn't watch it?
I know. It's like that. It's one of those shows that I never watched as a kid, and yeah. I know I missed about on that.
Didn't you watch like Courage the Cowardly Dog and Powerpuff Girls?
No.
You're a different generation.
Actually, no, that was.
I can't do that. I can't do this podcast with you anymore.
I never watched
Welcome to our side,
Billy
Corey.
and Mandy. I never watched Courage. I never watched Powerpuff. Actually, I watched a little bit of Powerpuff Girls. I watched a little bit of Dexter's Lab. I just never liked them.
Finally on our side of the age line.
Apparently.
Same thing with Johnny Bravo.
That was good, too.
It was okay. Just
Ed and Eddie.
I hate Ed and Eddie.
Are there any video games that have Ed, and Eddie?
I wish.
Well, there is that Cartoon Network brawler game. I forget the name.
Oh, is it Samurai Jack?
No.
It's called
Samurai Jack.
Battle.
There is a Cartoon Network
Battle
game.
Network,
no,
right?
I know. It's not too long ago.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, I heard you.
Battle Network.
Battle Crashers. Cartoon Network Battle Crashers.
I said.
It's a beat 'em up, though.
It looked pretty generic, though, right?
Is Adult Swim the Cartoon Network?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, it's on there.
There's this show, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And,
we are the Aqua Teens.
This guy on the show.
The girlies want to scream.
This guy on the show ripped off Jeffy, man. Sounds just like him. It's ridiculous. It's unreal. Meathead, and Meatwad, Meatball.
I think they hail from
The
Pennsylvania.
French fries.
Frylock.
French fry.
Master Shake.
The large
That's
soda.
the guy from Halo.
Oh.
The Master Shake collection is finally getting a Series X upgrade.
Woot, woot.
Have fun editing this.
So we're going to start. We're going to start the Halo all over again.
I know. It's all.
This is all staying in.
No editing whatsoever.
Who needs to edit? L.
Yeah, it scared the hell out of me.
Now he has to edit.
Why does he have to edit?
L, what have you been playing in the game show for the game showcase?
Oh man,
That's how the sausage is made.
It's a derailing of itself.
No, we're on video. Put the sausage away.
You're the one.
I am
talking
not
about
the New
masturbating.
Yorker. I'm not the New Yorker that was in the news. Sorry.
No.
That was some other guy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just said masturbate. How come you
Send
didn't
you a video
masturbate?
later.
Oh, yeah, so I did finish Gone Bure. Thanks for asking.
Ganbear?
Damn it. Stop it, Corey.
Sorry,
See-
Ganbarar?
See, now if you was
No.
at Gambit, I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I had 3 levels left, and I beat the last 3 levels just like I beat all the other ones. You put it on easy, you go and get a goal, and then you just kick it around in your own corner and keep yourself in the corner, and they can't get you. It's very easy.
I tried
some
that one
reason-
time, and it was not easy.
It's because you don't know anything about sports. You're like,
He's not wrong.
You're like, oh, this is a football game. Where's the yards? Where's the touchdown?
I told you before recording what XFL stood for, Kenny. Don't get me going about sports. I know.
What does it stand for?
Extra Football League.
All right.
Extraneous Football League.
Anyway, Gambear, good job. That's That's it's on the high end of rats.
I would say it. I can't believe it's worth 1600 TA. It's not hard.
When you say high end of rats, do you mean because of TA or like it's one of their better games?
It's gotta be TA.
Yes.
Not the second one.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't think you would say that it was one of the better ones.
It's
I would, because you know why?
You have to play it?
Played A Hero in a Garden.
Did you do it while watching football?
And I'm very mad at you, Kenny, for not warning me about this game.
What was wrong with it? It's a fantastic game. I have zero complaints.
Think this visual novel would take me 1 hour. You have to wait for these stupid fruits to grow.
It's so bad.
Oh my God, Kenny. Yeah, so I'm sorry to P-Tart and X, the hero. Stay away from this crap.
It's bad. It's not good.
I started a video guide for it last night just to kind of see what they say, and I want to see how long it takes. I ended up not starting it because he's like, yeah, this is a berry picking visual novel that will take you about an hour to an hour and a half. Like,
because
nope, I don't have time for that.
Because in most visual novels, you skip ahead and you pick the dialogue choice. But this time, you have to wait for berries to grow. And then they grow super slow. And then you need 50 of them. And then 75 of them. And then 100 of them. And you have to hit. And they grow one at a time. And then you hit the button when 3 of them grow. And you have to wait over and over and over.
I tell you what, El. I'll make a visual novel, and I'm going to include berry picking, but you only got to pick one.
You need to stream this game. How about that? And see how long you last during Extra Life.
See, it's different when I'm on stream. Like I feel.
And you need to tell a story about the berries.
I feel like I have to play for as long as I usually sign up for. But so that would be. That's why I haven't started it though, because I can't do that.
See, and you mentioned the video. Sorry, Al. You mentioned a video. That's why I started it. Shoot, who was it?
Chivo Guides?
Yeah, I think that's who the video was on TA that I watched.
Oh, that the guy that sounds like this.
I can't remember now.
No,
this video was 6 minutes long. I went, oh, this is a perfect VN. I need these quick points for that.
That's why you listen to their first
quest
bit, like because I always say, oh, this will take you like an hour. Don't mind my 6 to 7 minute video.
Like I said, I was watching football while doing this, so I'm like, this is no problem. I'll just I just looked at the guide, see how long it would, or the video, see how long it would take. I'm like, cool, it's only a couple of minutes, no big deal. And then come to find out, yeah, it takes like an hour or a little over.
And then, bet you didn't know this, you can read some of the words that pop up. And then it'll take you a lot of hours. Stay away.
And you know what the other problem is? There is, let me double check, make sure I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are like 5 different endings. And if you don't save right before the end, so you can go pick one ending, you then have to do it all over again. So if you do decide to do this, be sure to save your game towards the end.
Oh, God. The written walkthrough on TA, for some reason, says, save your game in every one of the 6 save slots, just in case, just to make sure it saves. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. But it says that. It's hilarious. Yeah, so that's A Hero in a Garden. That other one that just say, the first case, much better. That's only like a half hour.
Oh, Josiah.
Yeah, that's like a murder mystery one.
That's still a long time for a visual novel.
You interrogate.
Wait, how long did you say it was?
30 minutes.
Maybe it's a little less. I did it in 2 chunks.
Like, I'm like...
Well, that might be why.
I want blind men level, like 10 minutes, and I'm out.
I'm with you, Corey.
Yeah.
Blind Men wasn't 10 minutes, was it?
It was like 6 minutes.
11.
Blind Men
it took me
quick.
22 minutes from first pop to last pop for Josiah.
Okay.
I had to sit through all the dialogue. The dialogue took a while.
Blind Men was 6 minutes. You don't have to sit through the dialogue.
The first time you get through a section, you have to sit through it.
No, you don't.
I'm going to look this up.
Change your settings, and you
I
should be able to
changed
skip everything.
To the fast text speed and all that, but
I started Blind Men at 10:29 p.m. at night, and I finished at 10:35 p.m. the same night.
6 minutes.
Well,
yeah, you should never have to sit through any of the dialogue.
I had to sit and let it scroll fast. I don't know what was up with that.
You hit right bumper.
Yeah, so Blind Man, I have 14-minute difference between the first and last pop, but I remember I also did like go to the bathroom or get something to eat or something like
sure
that.
you did.
That's
I don't
the
like
ultimate
it's
achievement.
like under 15-minute completion.
A quick sidebar. I just noticed that Blind Man was developed by Man Eater Games. That just gave me a little chuckle.
Oh, you saw that.
do 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 do.
Yeah, that man.
Shark! Sorry, I don't want to scare you, Corey. I know you're a little jumpy lately after that Zodiac game.
Man.
We're going to need a bigger boat. Nate, did you play anything?
I did. I really, really did. I played.
I want to hear about
advice of some people in the Discord on the Vayner channel who said to play Grizzland and to play 2 Parsecs from Earth and see if we thought that they were Vayners. So Grizzland, remind me which one is which. I think
Grizzland is black and white.
Well, no, but which developer was that? That was East Asia Soft?
Yes.
So that one's East Asia Soft, and it reminds me of, gosh.
Poop?
I was going to say something like that.
Adventure?
It reminds you of Gato Roboto?
Maybe, but not as good. And it reminds me kind of Adventure on the Atari. A little bit.
I can see it.
like E.T.? Looks like E.T.
It looks like E.T., yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It totally plays like E.T. When I ran to the left, I was just like, oh, I'm getting E.T. vibes. And then 2 Parsecs from Earth is Ratalaika. Now, are they Vayners? I would say that maybe Grizzland.
All right, start with Grizzland, because I played Grizzland.
Very, very singular, though. I mean, there's like, you have to go this way to get that to get this. So there's no choice, really. And the combat sucks.
Oh, the combat is horrendous.
Oh, the sword is just horrible. It's like you're either the right distance to hit them, or you're inside the hit distance and you get hit.
And they fly back. Yeah,
it's not great.
So one of those bosses drove me nuts trying to beat.
Yeah, the first boss, I've only beaten the first boss so far, I think. Boss encounter. And that was annoying. I only got hit like once in it, but I was just like, this could really be horrible. So I'm not really enjoying that game so much. But 2 Parsecs, which once again is the Ratalaika game, reminds me a lot of darn it. Corey, what's that Vayner you like?
Keep going.
Paradox Soul.
SteamWorld Dig.
SteamWorld Dig.
It reminds me a little bit of SteamWorld Dig in the movement, the kind of the jumping. I kind of like the humor in it. It knows why you're there. I mean, within the first 5 minutes, it talks about getting the 1,000 gamer score out of the game.
Does it really?
Yeah, it does.
That's awesome.
Okay, so spoiler, you crash your ship and you have to repair your ship. Very common in Metroidvania type games. And then very quickly, you're kind of traversing through this level and you walk by your ship or where your ship crashed. And it's like, all right, give me my 1,000 gamer score or my 1,000 whatever. And it's kind of a nod to the gamer score people. And then that's before I think you get your first achievement is after that. You haven't even gotten an achievement at that point. So yeah, that one maybe as much as SteamWorld Dig is a Vayner. Possibly. I didn't get too far in that one.
So I'm looking at 2 Parsecs from Earth on Steam, and everywhere you look, it says Metroidvania, Metroidvania, Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Nowhere does Grizzland say it, although if you want to see more games like Grizzland, they say to check out Carry On and Ori and Blasphemous and Hollow Knight. So take that for what it's worth. It's not labeled as Metroidvania anymore on TA. It used to be.
If Paradox Soul is a Metroidvania, then why can't Grizzland be?
Yeah, I would say that they're about the same level.
I mean, once you keep going, you'll see you get the shrink. It's just like Metroid. You get the shrinky thing to go down into small spaces. Then you get a jump and a double jump. A double jump right there should seal it. And that's it. It's a Vayner.
So are you saying that Alice in Wonderland would make a good Vayner?
Yeah. If it has a double jump.
Okay.
One thing I'll say about Grizzland is that it definitely had some good fan service. I mean, it was a good love letter to old games. So right away, when you get the sword, the guy says to you, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. And then later on, you'll see, I don't know if you got to any secret rooms.
I did get to some secret rooms, yeah.
The secret rooms are all old games. So one of them was, there's this portal you can jump in, and then you keep falling through the portals. And in the background, you see a cake, and you see stuff like that. Yeah, I'll show it to you if you didn't see it. But
yeah, I don't know if I noticed
there's
that
some cool stuff. There's some cool stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely found 1 or 2 secret rooms, but I don't think I found the portal one yet.
Yeah, it's definitely a love letter to some games, but it could have done with a what's that word? Budget. Yeah,
right. And speaking of a budget, the East Asia Soft game is $5, and 2 Parsecs is $6.39 on sale right now, down from $8. So are they Vayners? Maybe. I'll play them to completion because they're just, they're so short, and I just want to get them off my tag.
To go along with,
you'll let us know.
To go along with Grizzland's Steam page, a lot of the top reviews that are just there, they're talking about Metroidvania. The top one says the Metroidvania review, and they're giving it a medium fit because it does use literal levels to divide its various sections, but optionally there's backtracking to use powers you've obtained. So it sounds, I guess a medium Vayner is probably right, but
I'm going to guess this is one that you've played but don't really remember, Corey.
I believe the video guide that Sangrias did was probably like 15 minutes long, so no, I don't remember it.
I used the written guide, and it took me, of course, like almost an hour, but then I'm like, wait, the video guide's 20 minutes? What? But
you do have to watch a little bit, pause, reading. So you can't follow it one by one, yeah.
Right. I'm used to, I like reading better.
So I'm the only one that actually played them without looking at a guide or reading or a video.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Okay.
This particular one, yes, you did. 2 Parsecs I have not played yet. I am looking forward to it, but so
I'll play that one without a guide.
The question comes now: is Grizzland appeared as a Vayner on TA on True Achievements? Is it worth
it's not
the
a
fight
platformer
to try to get it back? Because right now
it's not
a platformer.
It's not.
It is a platformer though.
No.
Well, you jump. That's kind of like
and you land on a platform.
Yeah,
that's not its main. No.
I mean, how can you be you can't even be a Metroidvania without having platforming elements. At least, I don't know how you would.
Paradox Soul would differ.
I don't know.
That
Arkham Asylum
platforming too.
Platforms.
Did it? Oh, that's right. It did. Okay.
You call Arkham Asylum a platformer?
The 3D platformer.
There you go.
Well, is the floor platform? Platform.
You don't need a floor when you have the Batarang thing.
You mean the grapple hook?
Yeah, that thing.
So, are you going to submit a genre change to get it put back?
Ooh, that's
that
a
involves
question.
effort. Yes.
Get it back? So it was a Vayner at some point.
I'm pretty sure it premiered with the Vayner tag. But there's no discussion in genre, so I don't know why it was changed.
Yeah, I would like to see if something loses a genre. I would like to see a forum thread about that. But
right. Because that's one reason. One reason I played it is because it's super quick. The other reason was because it was Metroidvania tag.
Obviously. Well, I'll make a decision here when I'm done. But I sort of feel like
sounds good.
Parsecs might be a better case for a Vayner. But
well,
I don't know.
I hope you're not done talking about Vayners.
I am.
Go ahead, Corey.
In general, because I need to talk about some.
No, go for it.
So I've been playing Foregone. Foregone is a newer game. You might have heard us mention it in different hype threads that are coming up, or this was in the summer. The game finally came out last week, 1 week ago from recording, and it is a Metroidvania platformer, at least so it is advertised. Now, I'm not done with the game, but I am pretty far along. It's very Dead Cells. If you've ever seen that or played that, it's not roguelite in the sense that you lose your stuff, and the maps don't change. But it is kind of a side-scrolling, very like linear type path that you come to portals as you get to them, so you can travel back to the main area where you can upgrade your stuff. And they also kind of act as save points, if you will. But if you happen to die in between those, you come back at that starting level or starting area, and you've lost all your currency. Any items you've picked up are still with you, but your currency is gone. That currency is what you use to upgrade your items and your skills. There is a Reaper in that area that you can get half of that back. Otherwise, you have the option to find where you died. There will be a vase, and you can collect all of it. So there's that. That's the only incentive that you get for going back to where you died. But the problem I have with it comes with that Vayner tag, because, like I said, it is so linear. You start going right, and you just keep going, and then, like I said, you eventually come to portals, you travel back, and then you just travel back to the most recent portal, and you continue on with it. And you do get powers and skills along the way that you do need to continue forward. However, there's none of that you needed that you have to go back and use unless you're going to find one of the secret areas. Now, maybe that could change when I get to the end of the game. Like I said, I think I'm pretty close. And so far that is not the case. So if you've played Teslagrad, which I would be Tesla glad if a lot of you did, you would know my feelings on Teslagrad. It is like Vayner light, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my book. This is on that level so far. So I'm enjoying it. It's a really good game. If you thought Dead Cells was too hard or too fast hitting you in the face, I would definitely recommend Foregone. It's kind of like a static, easy version of Dead Cells. I'm kind of giving it. It's an expensive game, coming in at $30 for this indie title, but I am enjoying it. Pixelated graphics, kind of like Dead Cells, but it's still very beautiful.
You can definitely tell that it is a female human protagonist.
It definitely is a female.
You were right.
Human.
Those levels are not auto-generated.
I was waiting for this.
So take note of that. So anyway, that's what I've been playing.
Does it have guns?
It's got guns. Yeah,
it does have guns. Okay.
So actually, that's a good point. The combat is very fun. It's very fast and very fluid. You have a melee attack, which can be a sword or these nunchuck things or a staff. They all have obviously different abilities. Or you can do a ranged attack, which can be a bow or a gun. And then that's kind of it for your basic combat. And then as you progress, you can find abilities that either heal you, or it does like an area of effect attack, but you have to build that up by killing enemies kind of thing. But your basic combat is melee and ranged. But I love the combat. I have to give it to them for that.
Oh, Ell, they made your joke. I didn't look at the achievements before, but I'm looking at the titles now. They definitely made your Foregone joke.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There's another one in there for me.
I'm pretty sure he said that in one of our chats.
Oh, I know he said the joke. I don't know if we knew that it was an achievement name.
No, I think he shared it.
I'm going to go ahead and say that they probably named the entire achievement list out of us, because if you just look at one, it's called a Foregone Conclusion. It's definitely come up.
They probably named the game just based so they could do that.
Yeah. This one, they have a achievement called Myth of Cronus. That's pretty good. This one is my personal favorite, and that is you have to acquire all of these reports, and it's titled PowerPoint Ranger.
Of course.
Wow, I remember
That's
this.
awesome.
I remember that now.
Yeah, they've got some good. They've got some good achievement names.
That's definitely sus.
And the achievements, there's a pretty good amount of them, 50 of them, and most of them are for just beating the bosses and collecting everything. It's a really good list too. There's nothing that's going to hold you up if you're just going for 100%, just going to collect everything. You'll get all of them. It seems to be easy, and at least one person has completed it, so that's good.
Oh, screen wipe. This is great. Screen wipe, damage 8 enemies with 1 Nova. That's just beautiful.
Do they have an achievement called Just Like Camping for any reason?
No.
That would
Camping.
be intense.
It's a very long achievement
But
title,
they
though.
have one called Captain's Log, so
Whoa, boy.
that one satisfies Prue.
Speaking of satisfying Prue, Kenny, have you played anything?
Hey, now.
Oh, have I played anything? Well, honestly, I've played a lot of Among Us. I've just been doing a lot of easy tasks and menuing.
That's true. I've played 2 sessions with Kenny this past week.
And it has been fantastic. Played Friday night, and then I actually streamed for like 3 hours Sunday night. And that VOD should be up on YouTube here shortly.
By the time the podcast is up, right?
Yes, it should be up, and definitely check it out. If you have any interest in the game, I would watch it.
If you don't know the game, I do recommend watching it or listening to it. So, you know what I do? I tend to fall asleep watching Twitch streams, and some of them are even VODs. And most of the time lately, they're Among Us streams. And it's always better when the people playing know each other or at least talking. And hopefully you've heard our voices enough. And I actually think Kenny's friends were actually the ones that you streamed wasn't really a lot of your friends. It was just one friend, your wife, your nephew, and myself as far as voice goes. And then there's a couple other people made appearances in game. Do you remember some of those names?
It was yeah, so somebody who was totally stream sniping me was in there, and I'm like 99% sure it was Saucy Slingo, but he kept changing his name to Fufu is sus, Fufu sucks, Rocker is sus,
Fufu vented or blue vented or whatever.
Yeah. So I always use the blue character, and he's changed it to blue vented or something like that. But yeah, I'm like 99% sure that was Saucy Slingo. And he was definitely getting the party with us. Oh, so much fun. And there was some raging going on. But as far as Xbox games go, so last week I was mentioning that I was playing a couple of those easy, crappy visual novels to get the 10,000 points for the Hall of Fame thing. Well, come Sunday afternoon-ish, I kind of was sitting there, got on Xbox, I go to Microsoft Rewards app, and I go, crap, I didn't get my other 6,000 points. What do I do? What am I playing? What should I play? So I was looking at all the games I had access to, and it turns out that I just decided to play a lot of crappy NES games. And now when I say play crappy NES games, I more or less mean I played with the menus. I changed a lot of avatars. I changed the scan lines a bunch. The reverb, that's an option in these old games. I turned that on. Started up a couple of online game sessions. Nobody seemed to join me, so I just backed out of them. And then, I wound up with like 6,600 game score in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I did that too to finish up my... actually, that was for GTACT. I'd already finished my punch card, but yeah, those come in handy.
Corey, do the Japanese ones have English menus?
Yeah, there was nothing Japanese about them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they have Japanese name on your Xbox, but then once you load them up...
No, not even that. Like, they're translated to, like, most of them say, Neketsu.
I'm surprised you were able to say
Fighting
that.
Legend. Neketsu Renegade.
Dodgeball.
Kunio-kun.
Well, when I was looking at them in my full library list, it was all in Japanese. And then once I downloaded them, it went to English. I don't know. I don't know if it was just my Xbox or if that's the way it is. But yeah, lots of achievements unlocked.
All right, well, we got some Zoo Tycoon in, Kenny. That was fun.
We did play Zoo Tycoon. That's always nice.
And I've been teasing Kenny that looking forward to getting the Series X, so these load times can be improved.
We can
We
pick
wait
up
two-
poop so much faster.
We wait. No, to get into it really takes 2 or 3 minutes to get into the thing. It takes forever.
Yeah,
I've
the
been-
load times for Zoo Tycoon is so bad.
I've just been noticing as I've been playing games lately, just like the load times and like new Super Lucky's Tale. I loaded into that to do the weekly quest for Game Pass. I was just sitting there thinking, why couldn't this be in 4 weeks instead? Like, for whatever reason, that game's taking forever to load.
So what you're saying is they're stalling the load times just like the iPhone did?
Yes. They've got a little timer in there. They're like, they've got a little sleep function. They're saying sleep times 20%. And then
it's
you should buy it.
definitely like going into your brain saying, this is why I'm upgrading consoles.
Mhm.
I need this.
You really don't notice until you see or have the next gen stuff. And then when you go back, you kind of just sit there and think to yourself, like, how was I ever able to use this? This is horrible. Like, if you ever go back to an Xbox 360 game, like on the Xbox 360, it is terrible. It takes like 2 minutes just to start the damn console. And then, like, trying to play any game takes so long to load and get going.
That video of Alana, like, leaving the Xbox Series X off for a day and then plugging it back in, and then within 6 seconds she was back into Ori. Like, the console booted and she was playing Ori again in 6 seconds.
Man, you can't get sexier than that.
No.
I'm not even talking about her.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's possible from like a engineering standpoint when it comes to like just insane computing power and whatnot. That is just next gen is going to be crazy. I can't wait. I really GameStop, get an all access bundle, please. I need to pre-order you.
So, is that the only thing you're excited for? Or is there a special game that you're excited for?
Well, there's plenty of new games that's coming with the lineup. But as far as games that I personally am really looking forward to playing, one is with the recent article that Elle mentioned a little bit ago, is Halo Master Chief Collection is going to be playing at 4K at 120 frames per second, I think is what it said. I can't wait to jump in that and play it at 120 frames per second. And then I have... And then I never really jumped into the games. I played them a little bit, but I really want to play Doom and Doom Eternal on the machine. And then another game that I know, Corey, you're looking forward to as well is Planet Coaster. I think that's the only next-gen game I'm actually looking forward to right about now.
I know this was a talking point with Elle. Because Elle has been... He's been very on the case of why are we upgrading? And I know he has a Series X pre-ordered.
It's not in a judgmental way. It's just like, it just doesn't, I don't know.
You're just looking for discussion. I know. I see that.
I'm not judging. I'm doing it myself. But it really, the first thing I'm going to do is play games I already have, not a new game that's coming with the console, like I've said, that you normally would do. So
you're gonna boot it up and you're gonna say, "Hey, who wants to play Rocket League?"
I'm gonna boot up like Forza Horizon 4, see how that looks. Boot up Gears 5, see how that looks. Stuff like that.
Forza, that's gonna look amazing.
That's what I intend on doing. Those games are already a year old, right? A year or two old, some of them. So it's just interesting. It's just different. In 6 or 12 months, I think we'll see the full power.
As far as day one titles are concerned, Microsoft actually recently released a list of all the day one Xbox Series X and also S. We say X, but it's really both of them. Optimized titles, and there's 30 games. I'll rattle them off real quick. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Borderlands 3, Bright Memories, Cuisine Royale, Dead by Daylight, Devil May Cry 5, Dirt 5, and listed Evergate, The Falconer, Fortnite, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Gears Tactics, Grounded, King Oddball, Man-Eater, Manifold Garden, NBA 2K21, Observer, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Planet Coaster, Sea of Thieves, Tetris Tetris Effect, The Tourist, War Thunder, Warhammer, or Watch Dogs Legion, WRC 9, and Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Yes, Your Grace. So, like, that's a fairly big list of games that will be available and will be optimized for it on day one that we can play. But there's really not a whole lot of, like, new shiny games, which I know that's kind of like what you're talking about.
Is that wrong? Is that weird to think that?
I mean, I don't think so, but I'm already in the mindset of it. This is like a phone. Your new iPhone doesn't play or operate any apps that your old one doesn't, unless you're like literally 4, 5, 6 years old. And even then, like, some of those still work. So I think you have to think about it differently, to be honest.
I mean, I see your point, because you're spending either $300 or $500 on a next gen console, so it's just like, okay, what's this new shiny game? Something that I can't already play. What do I get to use this for? And really, I think there's like 2 games on this list that I can think of, like Tetris Effect and Planet Coaster.
Are you talking about new games?
Yeah, like new.
There's other new games, like the Falconeer will be coming out that day that you mentioned.
Okay, yeah,
Assassin's Creed comes out.
There's more.
Cyberpunk comes out not day one, but like 4 days afterwards or something.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Cyberpunk and like the new Call of Duty comes out a couple of days after.
Yeah, you have those. I'm personally looking forward to. I'm still curious about it, but Fuser comes out on November 10th, which is the Harmonix game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
And then you got stuff like Dead by Daylight. That's a 2017 title. Was anyone asking for this?
Well, no, but for those who haven't played it, I mean, that's an active game, so...
New coat of paint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reason
it's
to boot it back
It's kind of like Maneater. Like, I'm not going to be booting up Maneater, even though it's going to be optimized now, because I've completed the game. But man, like, if I hadn't played it before, like, hopefully hearing all the shining reviews and being optimized, you're like, oh boy, I can't wait to finally play that. I know some people are probably going to be holding off on games that have just come out, like this week or last week. I can't remember like the big one. I know at some point before release dates were known, people were going to hold off on Cyberpunk or Assassin's Creed, whichever one it was. They're like, I'm just going to hold off till the new system comes out. Now they kind of fixed that, but some people are waiting for this. They're ready to experience all this stuff a little differently.
I mean, we don't really play this, but I'm sure NBA 2K21 will look amazing. Stuff like that.
All those forced ads were going to look great.
Absolutely. It'll be just like being there.
I mean, for
Nate, you've been quiet. Go. What about you, Nate?
Well, for day one, I'm always tempted by the Assassin's Creeds and the Watch Dogs. However, Ubisoft games just go down in price so quickly, and I don't really want to play the new Assassin's Creed until I've played the other 2 ones just before it. And I don't.
That'll take 3 years.
Yes, and that'll take a long time. And then Watch Dogs, I'm kind of wondering maybe I should play the second one first, because by the time I actually get around to playing this, it's going to be on sale. But I really want that new gen experience, and it's not day one, but launch window is Immortals: Phoenix Rising. It's supposed to be December 3rd, so that's one I would consider paying full price to play, and I think it's going to take full advantage of the Series X, and then I don't have to worry about I haven't really played the other 2 Assassin's Creed games that are going to take me 2 years of straight play. But that's one I'm really interested in. There was actually it's so me. There's a 2D platformer
of course,
that's going to be out about the same time as the launch. I'm not sure if it's day of or what. I saw it posted on DA, and then I haven't seen it again, but looks really good. And I can't believe I'm going to play a 2D platformer day one, but I'm thinking about it.
I can believe that. Knowing you, I can believe that.
I mean, I have right now I have the S pre-ordered. I'm half tempted to boot up Ori on that day just to see. But at the same time, I have Ori on my PC, which can run it at, ultra graphics or whatever it is right now. So especially for me, it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, my PC can't handle that. But yeah, I mean, the thing I'm really the most excited about are load times and performance and all that stuff. So,
the resume feature. And all
yeah, the resume just sounds fantastic.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that. That's going to be so nice.
And also being able to take my my One X out of the living room and put it in my office and then put the Series X in the living room. I'm actually tempted to put the Series X in my office, but that would be bad. That'd be very bad. That'd be a horrible idea that I'm still thinking about.
See, I think that's also the big what am I trying to say? I think that's the big point. To your point, Nate or L, I can't speak. Wow. You all have like Xbox One X's, which is like a fantastic console. I'm on the OG Xbox One, so the jump that I'm going to have compared to what you guys are going to have is totally different. Like, I'm really, really going to experience next gen. For you all, it's more or less just, better loading times. Like, sure, the graphics and the frame rates are going to be great, but if you're not playing multiplayer first-person shooters, more frames per second is more of a luxury. It really helps in first-person shooters. But like I said, the load times and graphics and everything for me, I can't wait. Everything that I play from here on out or replay is going to be in a complete and total new light.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to that Immortals Phoenix Rising game, Nate.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't talked much about it on the show, but we did a draft earlier in the year for Fantasy Critic.
Mm-hmm.
And I drafted a little game called Gods and Monsters.
It doesn't count. Doesn't count anymore. Damn it. Name changes invalidate.
I was like, what happened to it? Yeah, I realized it changed names.
Yeah, apparently Monster Energy was like, nah, we got that.
Is that why it changed?
That was the
kind of
theory.
dumb. Yeah.
Because
that's
Monster.
Yeah.
That's I don't know.
I can't believe that. That's too dumb of a reason.
That's a rumor.
Here, I just sent you the link.
I mean,
I've actually been looking at upcoming games to, I guess I got some Microsoft credit, Microsoft points to spend. Maybe I'll spend them on Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Oh, man.
If I don't get the other stuff that comes out on launch
so
day.
dumb. I can't believe Monster Energy actually has.
Are you going to stop drinking that?
No, I honestly don't care that much. That's just so dumb. So what, is anything with the name Monster they're now going to like
I don't know if I believe that.
That can't be. That's just so dumb.
I mean,
Immortals Phoenix
God's not
Rising
suing them.
Kind of
so
sounds better, don't you think?
No.
if God's not going to sue, I don't think the Monster should sue.
Well, the other theory was that they wanted a marketable main character. So they wanted what the main character's name in the thing. So
Phoenix with a Y.
Yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense. Gods and Monsters like more though.
Oh wait, this is Ubisoft too. I'll wait 2 weeks after till it's $40.
Exactly. But if
Pretty
there's
much.
one game I'm going to pay full price for, it'd be that. So
Oh, shoot. There's a gold edition for $100. Don't tell Nate these things. Why? Don't do it. You did it.
Talking
Pre-order
about
for-
all the
Bonus
Continue.
quest. Season pass. Ugh. But you know what, though? I might just do it just to have something new and shiny to play as what we're talking about. Something
do
to
it,
immerse.
spend your money.
Something to immerse in.
just the one.
Come to Game Pass, please. Something to immerse. Yeah, just one game. That actually would be good.
Well, good. You can play Tetris Effect.
That's Michelle's department.
Yeah.
And it's
want
on
something
Game Pass. Oh, come on. Like, Tetris looks phenomenal.
Boring.
I'm excited for Tetris.
You'll play Tetris for 15 minutes, just like you play a Switch game, and then go on to something else.
I don't understand Tetris. I don't get the love for that game.
If you were a kid in 1989 and were able to play it portably, you would get the love.
I guess.
Trust me.
I've played multiple versions of the game on different handheld
You have to play
Game
it
Boys or this, that, and
in-
the other thing. I don't care about
You
it.
have to play it on a small screen in puke green to get the full effect.
I just said I played it on a Game Boy.
Oh.
I have a Game Boy not color. I actually got 2 or 3 of them.
Not color. The Game Boy not color.
I do remember playing Pokemon on that.
Oh, God.
Just rolls right off the tongue. Color-free Game Boy.
But speaking of all these games that are coming out, Mass Effect Legendary Edition has been rated in South Korea.
Doesn't mean it's coming out.
It's coming out, damn it. I want this to come out.
Vaporware.
We'll know come November 7th, one way or the other, because that's N7 day.
It's the lie engine. Not coming out.
I hope not. Prue, back me up. At these 3 and tell them they're wrong for not being excited for this.
I've put all of an hour into Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 combined. I don't
So
get
you
the
haven't even completed the
Too long.
tutorial.
It's impressive.
there's too much dialogue. Way too much dialogue.
There was some interesting discussion today about being male shep, female shep, picking a default.
I've put far more time into Mass Effect Andromeda.
We have a lot of pervs that like to pick female characters so they could see their butts. Like, really? But
I
okay.
mean, it makes sense.
I did see a thing where Mental Knight, he, I guess, opts for like the default look that you see in the trailers and stuff.
Mm.
And you know what? I'm in his camp. I tend to go default. Like Sunset Overdrive, default character all the way.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of all games, that with all the clothing options.
Like
Wow,
I might
my guy looks like the
change
Big Show. He looks
clothes,
awesome.
but like hairstyle and face, like I want the dude in the trailers. You know?
No, I give my guy blue hair and afro. Good times.
See, I always
As
make
fat
my
as
characters
possible.
look like me. Blonde
You
hair,
just
blue
really
eyes.
Spend time doing that.
They blend
I'm
in.
like, it's a role-playing game. I put myself into the game.
Move that
Do you
white chair
name
all the
them
way
Kenny too?
Depends
Kenny,
on
the
the game.
sequel.
Hey, Officer Kenny.
Although I have heard that the voice acting in Mass Effect is better when you're the female shepherd. I don't know. I've always been the male shepherd.
You can still call her Kenny.
No, that'd be Kendra.
So
Oh,
if
probably
you
gonna regret
you have
saying
a
that.
female persona, I see.
if you
Kesha.
start if you play the first game as one gender, can you go to the next in the sequel and keep your stuff?
Yeah, how does that work?
I would say no.
Is it one continuous story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
so
choices you make in Mass Effect 1 affects 2 and 3. Assuming you carry your save file over.
so how much time are we talking about? Like one playthrough, for each
200
game?
hours.
If you were to just play the story, not worry about getting all the achievements, doing all this, that, and the other thing, with, let's say, a decent amount of exploration, you're not just following a guy and trying to beeline it, they're probably 15, 20-hour games, maybe even a little bit more.
I'm
Like,
I'm going to answer
there's
my
a
own question.
decent amount of
I went
story
to
there.
how long to beat. Apparently, main story 17 hours in Mass Effect, and 24
Yeah, there you go.
in both 2 and 3. So I mean, you're looking at 60 hours worth of
All right, Corey, I'll do it if you do it. Come on.
basic. No, I'll.
Okay, fine. All right, fine. You talk me out of it.
Have a hard bargain.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've had those games since they came out, and I have the DLC. I should play them.
I have a feeling
So
just
good.
with all these leaks of this game coming out, I have a feeling that in America it's just going to be a stealth drop.
But I was going to say those games might look really good on the Series X also, honestly.
Yeah.
They probably will.
I
If
saw
And
a
that would be
random,
another
if
game
they
that would be
do anything to
fantastic
them.
with the load scenes, with
I
the
saw-
load times.
I saw a random article praising Crackdown 1 on the Series X. Saying, like, just things are going to just look great.
I have not seen Crackdown on the Series X.
It's going to be a good time. Just like Rocket
I-
League with Ghostbusters.
I was just about
Oh
to
my
say, I
God.
can't believe we spent that much time on
Na,
Mass
na,
Effect.
na, na, na.
Yes, Rocket League is getting a Halloween event, and it's featuring the Ghostbusters stuff.
Oh.
This looks cool.
Just for
I'm not
Might have to get the
interested at
Ecto
all,
Wagon.
Nate says.
Well, I might have to get the Ecto Wagon. I mean, right?
So, can I just buy this? Like, can I just give them $5 and get the car and all the other stuff?
Well, I did some investigative research today for science, and I played some of it. And in the store, it's not there yet. So maybe tomorrow or yesterday via time travel.
I was going to say, this says, the end of this trailer says October 20th.
Yeah, so the new mode came out today.
Is that what this was? The
Haunted Hallows.
And it's funny because I made a joke a couple days ago that there should be a tennis mode. And sure enough, this is a tennis mode.
Is it really?
Yes. So the ball starts, you serve it, and then the ball never goes to the side. It always comes towards the middle near the goal. So
It doesn't matter really, like,
it's crazy.
how hard or how you hit it, really, right? Just
Yeah,
depends on what
the
direction.
momentum, yes.
Yeah.
The momentum does count, yes.
Oh, okay.
But you're going to get a lot of saves or a lot of goals. Now,
Interesting.
yeah, we just played it right before I came on, and there was a lot of goals being scored, and we're like, oh, wait, this game's going to take forever. But what we didn't realize is that it's 1st to 7 wins, so it's not going to go the full 5 minutes. So it's 7 points and you win. It's a
Now,
type
by
of thing
any
that was
chance,
fun.
Does that
but,
count towards the achievement? Do you know?
It will count towards like save achievements and stuff
it
like
must.
that, and
Yes.
shots and stuff. Sure.
So another thing is it's a free event, right? There's challenges
Timed
with all this
exclusive.
stuff. Yeah, timed exclusive Haunted Hallows
I didn't realize it
event.
was timed.
And so you have challenges, and just like they
Oh,
had
yeah,
a
limited time
they had a
modes.
Fortnite one previously, and the challenges are not hard. You just got to play the game a little bit, and you'll get some Ghostbusters cosmetics. So, I mean, it's worth checking out if you have any interest in Rocket League, and maybe you want to try out these limited time modes. But yeah,
Honestly, I really want the I forget what you call it, but with the effect when you score a goal, because this one has the mushroom,
the goal
the mushroom,
explosion,
the marshmallow, the marshmallow.
Stay
guy
puffed,
coming
man.
out.
Stay puffed.
Oh,
I
man.
can't remember. It's been so long since I've watched a movie.
This might get me to play. This might get me to play.
Come on.
Come on, Nate, jump in.
Tournament
with us.
at
It's so
midnight.
much fun.
My work.
Like if I can just spend $5 and buy the goal,
Would that make you play the game more? Putting in $5? Good point.
Probably.
Corey, is this the 180s property that you have seen?
Wait, what?
You seem to actually know about the Ghostbusters. I'm shocked.
Oh, I've watched them.
It came out before you did.
The cartoon.
No,
I
not the
watched the
cartoon. I've only
cartoon.
seen the real thing. The game is really good. Like, well, you know, the good game is good. The bad game's not. So I'm checking the shop now. Yeah, it's still not updated. This goes till November 2nd, though. So definitely get in there quick.
Dang, that's not a lot of time.
And if you're not in the Rocket League channel, that channel is popping right now. You'll probably always find somebody to play with. So even if you're not great, you're just starting out, there's actually a lot of friendly
Like
people
me.
in that channel. MDP is obsessed with the game. I'm just going to put that out there.
He really is. He's already level 110 or tier 110, like the highest one.
We have a couple of ringers in the community, and then there's people like me who just play for fun and are not good at the game.
We are actually all just playing for fun. It's
There's
crazy.
quite a bit of us, too.
Just in case you don't know how to do that, you go to #role assignment. Yeah, and then you can
Yes.
opt into Rocket League to see all the messages there. And yeah, there's tournaments, which is the whole new craze now, because if you bought a Rocket Pass, you were trying to do the challenges attached to it, although I believe this one is at one of the free challenges. So you have to
Oh, that's what all the tournament talk was for.
to win.
I thought you guys were just forming your own tournament. I was like, why did I
No.
get invited? I want to play.
these are timed tournaments. They're at 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and midnight Eastern. And on the
Ugh.
weekends, I think there's noon and 3 maybe. And in one of the challenges, you have to get to the quarterfinals 4 times. So you have to win 2 matches in a row, which I have yet to do. I've won one a couple of times, but not the second one.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll join your team and we'll get there.
We
I
might.
turn the game into a vehicular combat game.
All right, I'll have you on my team anytime, Kenny.
All right, after recording. All right, one last news article, and then we can carry on with the show. This is actually something that I think you all will be excited for, or at least Corey and Ell. But you can now start console streaming through the Xbox app on iOS devices. It's no longer just Android.
Bruh, I have an Android. This is
He
old.
said-
This is old
He
news.
said, bruh.
Oh, that's right. You did switch back to the right side. I
Wait a
forgot you
minute.
did that. You got a Pixel now.
Yeah, I've only been here for like a year and some change.
Yep, I forgot about that. I was thinking you were Apple. All right, so this is for L then. You're the dirty sinner amongst us.
I am. I'm curious to try it, but I heard the new Xbox app update doesn't show achievements anymore. I didn't look yet.
So
What?
I haven't updated my Xbox app yet. I'm kind of opening it now to see what it looks like because I don't know if it auto updated. And it looks like it did update. And it looks like the beta Xbox app that I've been running 2 of them, Xbox and Xbox Beta. And I've been staying in the old Xbox app. So now I'm kind of sad that it's gone because it loses some key functionality in my mind. Unless they've added it. I have not gone deep into this, into the notes here, but they took out like basic stuff. Like I don't think you can see like your achievements anymore in it. One of the biggest things for me is there's no store on it. You can do some cool things like install any game to your console from your phone. So like if you're thinking about, or you like, oh, I'm going to get Cyberpunk, eventually you can go ahead and download that, I think. Or like people were downloading Doom before it hit Game Pass, so it was ready for them via this method. But like I can't go in here and like browse the store, buy anything, and like redeem a code. That's a big one for me. So I'm actually a little worried about that because I always used my phone, the Xbox app on my phone, to redeem not questionable codes, but codes from a different land. And so now I got to figure out that out.
Well,
It looks good, but I think it lost a lot of functionality.
Let me introduce you
agree.
to this tool called the Bookmark, my friend.
The bookmark.
The Bookmark. Yeah.
Well, that means I have to use the browser.
Yes.
This was very easy to change your region. So I could just say I was in the UK, and then actually the other day I used it, and I had to actually use a VPN on my phone. But now I don't even have that option unless
that kind
I've
of questionable. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I just upgraded it. This sucks.
But you can console stream now.
Hot takes.
Because I used it all the time to compare achievements with people.
Yeah. So there are still 2 Xbox apps. Like
All right,
Corey
maybe
said,
they'll
there's
change it.
Xbox and there's Xbox Beta.
Microsoft is so bad about that. There's like 5
Yeah,
apps,
they
and they're
really
like
are.
2 of them are in beta, and 3 of them are official, and then they flip over, and then the old ones just disappear off your phone. It's like, what the freak is going on?
Yeah, what the freak?
Yeah,
Right.
it's not good.
Yeah.
I really hope they do just can combine the 2 of them and just have one Xbox app. Make life
Ugh.
easier. But yeah, you can now console stream. Console stream on your phone. So that's cool.
So not xCloud, but console
All right.
streams. So
Yeah,
That-
you still
I just have
can't
to have
do
the console?
the gameplay stuff, but you can set your phone up to connect to your console, and then you can stream whatever games you have installed on your Xbox to your phone.
Just what I wanted.
now you
Hey,
play
it's perfect
Gems.
for the treadmill, the elliptical,
If you wait in
rock
line
climbing,
somewheres.
No.
Oh.
Now you can play Rocket
That's
League
just the
on the
weekend.
toilet.
Did
That really
anyway.
is like the highlight of it, being able to like go.
I mean, I
Play
don't know if I
video
would
games
trust
in the
Rocket
bathroom.
League on
But you still need a
streaming,
controller
but-
hooked up to it, right?
Yes,
Of course.
It's not like it's good portability. I don't know.
You just take the Xbox controller in there with you.
I only do
What's
that in
wrong
the
with that?
bathroom
You
sometimes.
set the phone on the on the back side of the toilet, and you turn around.
Yeah. Tell me more.
You put your phone on the cereal bowl holder.
You can even eat. Oh, you saw. I was gonna say it.
Then your hands free.
I'm always hands free in the bathroom. Why? What are you talking about?
Oh no.
Oh, and swiftly moving on.
There's some people that understand that.
I
And
think
those are the ones
almost
that watch
everybody
Tosh.
does.
Oh, goodness. All right. So continuing on, we have one community question that we're going to get to tonight. This one is from Freaky RO. He says, I've been burning through so many games lately with Hall of Fame and zombie apocalypse stuff. None of them have been really none of them have been really memorable. What is one of your most, or what? God, I cannot speak.
What is one of your favorite, most memorable achievements that you've unlocked?
Thank you, Corey. My God, I need some more coffee. Nate, let's start with you.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah, I can't really think of memorable achievements. Mostly my memories are of games or whatever, but a game that I'm probably going to talk about next week on the showcase is Katana Zero. There's an achievement called What a Bad Idea for jumping off the balcony of this penthouse. So at the end of this level, you're supposed to kill a guy, but spoiler, he decides to jump. He doesn't want you to kill him. And once he's dead, you're supposed to run back to the left and work your way back through the level. But you can just jump off the balcony and die, and then you get an achievement for that. And I thought that was pretty funny. The game in general has a whole bunch of fun achievements, and I will be talking about that next week, I think.
All right. How about you, Corey?
So I have a couple, kind of like Nate. I sometimes I think more of the game rather than the achievement. So I always go back to Octodad. It was my first Xbox One completion. I did it a couple days after it released. And so like number one dad is the last achievement you'll probably get, beat the game without losing. So that one's pretty special. And then the other one that popped in my mind first is actually one game with two achievements. The achievements are called Weed Whacker and Treasure Chest. Now, these are two achievements from Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Treasure Chest, you have to collect 7 diamonds from the Treasure Yeti. Anybody who's played this game knows that RNG piece of garbage is truly a trial, and getting that done is just a huge sigh of relief. I'm checking now to see if it was my last achievement, and it wasn't, but it is for a lot of people. It looks like it was one probably prior to my last achievements. That one would be Weed Whacker, along with hunting season, which is the same achievement, but depends on if you're talking about plants or the zombies. And they're for vanquishing 100 of pea shooters, sunflowers, chompers, or soldier, scientists, engineers, all-stars. You get the picture. And why it's so special is because it was the first big person boost that I kind of did, and this was back in the Z to Z days. I actually haven't been a part of a whole lot of larger boosts, but this one I took part in, and it took a long time. I have just under 60 hours on the game. I'm sure most of that is in a party with people, and we would get together every Thursday, I think it was, and we would just grind it out. This was after a big Titanfall boost that happened every week for like 2 years that I missed out on. And so I was really excited to get into that part of the community at the time. And so that was pretty special completion. Because, usually everybody unlocks it on the same day, and we probably got a lot of these same completions on that as well, and it just led to a couple of other things. And then I should have another milestone achievement next week. I'm currently 5,000 away from 500,000, and I've actually planned this one out a little bit. I just did it the other day, so it's like short-term planning, but I do have something in mind for that one.
All right, well, I have 2 achievements that come to mind. But before I say mine, I want to go to L because I believe he might say one of mine. So L, what do you have?
Gonorrhea.
Does it match?
We're getting
Is it a
real.
match? Circle gets the square.
Yeah, is that what you were going to say?
Totally. How did you guess?
I think I know the one you're going to say, so I won't even say it.
What a jerk. And here
Do you
I was
want me
going
to
to let
say
you
it?
say it. Go for it.
Titanfall,
No.
picking up poop in Zoo Tycoon,
All right. What are your achievements? Because apparently you're not going to say it.
Left 4 Dead. Beating Halo in under 3 hours.
That's actually that's a good guess. That's close. But no.
The one where you messed up when we all got the achievement and you didn't.
Mm.
Actually, the first one that came to mind for me, because I'm a crazy person, is Seriously from Gears of War.
That's not what I thought you would say.
Yeah, well, we all do crazy things for achievements. This is the one I always go back to because a lot of people to this day still complain whenever games have multiplayer achievements attached to them. I say bring them on. I have met so many awesome people because of multiplayer achievements, including, of course, my BFF Michelle. And we met because of Gears of War, actually. The first one in 2011. And we wound up in a TA boosting session, and we met what would be known as the Platoon, which was our original boosting group. We had like 10 of us. But 6 of us went on this venture to go through Seriously, and we played 3 times a week for 3 hours at a clip. And
Seriously?
Indeed, seriously. And what it entailed is you just run to the middle, and then you just do a grenade tag, and you both get blown up. And that is it. You do that over and over and over to get to 10,000 kills. And then the kicker is that it doesn't even unlock at 10,000. It unlocks somewhere. When's it going to unlock? No one knows. But
That's
we had a group.
horrible.
Yeah, but we had a group called the Original Six. I was Michelle and Sir JL and Randy and Ninja Dave and Beavis. And yeah.
The Randy?
The Randy.
Wow.
Not Crandy.
Oh,
not that guy.
that's my
No.
Randy.
No, this is different Randy.
That's the right Randy.
Yeah. And of course, if I didn't say Michelle and myself, yeah. I don't remember what I said a minute ago. But yeah, the achievement itself is terrible, but we definitely bonded over it, and we had a lot of good laughs, which you have to do, which is very similar to what we did several years later with Titanfall. I don't remember specifically unlocking that last achievement, but I remember the road, and I remember the laughs we had.
That was a good road.
It was a good road. So
See,
yeah,
and that's the
multiplayer
session that
achievements,
got me
I
into
remember.
this.
Yeah, that's why I thought you were going to say that once Corey alluded to Titanfall.
No, so the one that the second achievement that popped in mind, and the one I actually thought you were going to say, is Annual from Halo.
Oh, frack. Love that achievement.
Yeah, it's an annoying achievement, especially in Halo 3, because it offers 0 gamer score. Well, actually, it offers 0 gamer score in both of them, and that and the Master Chief Collection. But
I think
or
you
no.
get something in Master Chief Collection.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Whatever it is.
I read something wrong. Yeah, you get 10 gamer score in Master Chief Collection. You get 0 in Halo 3. But yeah, if you don't know what that is, it's complete Halo 3 on 4-player legendary co-op with Iron Skull and everyone in Ghost. It's an annoying achievement to go for because as soon as someone dies, you all have to start at the checkpoint. So it's like whenever you start to make a little bit of progress, someone dies, and it's just like, God, why did you flip? Stop falling off the cliff or whatever. You start yelling at each other after the 100th time trying to get this. But it's good fun at the same time going through it with friends.
Oh, man.
I've unlocked it in both games. I unlocked it back in 2009 in Halo 3. And then recently, you, me, Michelle, and Prue got it in Master Chief Collection back in July. Yeah, that's just...
I'm looking. And I feel like we talked about this a while ago, but we have some new listeners, so we'll rehash a little bit. I got this one also in 2011.
Beat you to it.
March 9th. So who did I get this with? Oh, yes. Daskunin, Insidious Wrath, and Mitotic Activity. Wow. That's right. Michelle did it in a different group, but we did it together in the one version with Beavis and Master Chiefing. And then we did it with you and Prue, but Prue did something that I didn't even know about, where you can skip that beginning part. We never did it that way before.
Yeah, that
he climbed up
the building.
And do you remember that we were so mature as to count to see if we would die 69 times?
Yeah, we tried. We tried to get on the 69th time. We failed. We got on like 76 or something like that.
I'll never forget it, though. And that's what achievements are, man.
It is. Like, those are the kind of things where achievements are great.
We have some of these games we play for the score and don't really even remember them.
And then the first achievement, and it's probably my favorite achievement that I've ever went for, and it's very much memorable for me, and that's the Dastardly achievement in Red Dead Redemption.
Ooh.
It's just perfect. It's place a hog-tied woman on the train tracks and witness her death by train. It's just one of those things where it's like, as soon as I read that on the achievement list, I'm like, I need to unlock this. That's hilarious. That's such a good achievement. It's something you would never think about doing. You would never do it on your own, but yet it makes you go out of your way to do something that actually was kind of fun. It was just, I remember sitting there trying to set it all up and see, because when you click on the map, you could see where the train is. And it's just like, okay, I'm here. I open up the map, and the train's here. I wait like a minute. I open it up, and it's getting closer, and it's getting closer, and it's getting closer. And it's just like, oh, here it comes. And then the train just runs the woman over and kills her. And you can bleep, bloop, and you get it. I sound like a psychopath, like saying that, but it's a good achievement. That's probably one of my favorite.
You are a psychopath. Never say bleep, bloop like that again.
Okay, then.
Bleep, bloop. Thanks for the question. Freaky row.
All right, well, let's get on to wheeling and dealing. Ell, what's some couple easy games that people can pick up for on the cheap side?
Oh, man, this is a week. If you like cheap games and easy games, this is your week.
It really is.
We have old favorites like Storm Boy, $1.19. Energy Cycle, $1.49. That one I allow you to use a guide for, by the way.
Rememory, play that.
Rememory, it is $2.99. That is one where I beat it in like a half an hour, but someone came up with a cheat where you could just skip through and beat it in like 5 minutes by holding down.
Isn't there like a 10-second cheat with
Yeah.
that now?
You do what you got to, but I recommend playing it. It's not that bad, as Corey says. But a game that I heard is pretty bad is the Woodle Tree Adventures.
Terrible.
I think Nate loves that game.
There's a run button. Did you know that?
That seems to be the first thing that people say. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's 74 cents. So yeah, you can't go too wrong.
Gentleman's 900 is perfectly fine on that one.
What's the last 100?
It's just grinding out whatever the collectible is.
You have to get like 2,000 berries or something like that. More berries. This is the berry episode. 3,000 berries. I'm sorry. Way too many berries. I'm trying to see. There's no tracking to tell. So you get an achievement for collecting 1,000, and then you're probably done with the game. So you literally have to grind out 2,000 berries collecting them for 100 gamer score and 15 TAD.
Well, sounds like it's not a very good game. Speaking of which, jumps. And the berry family is 112th seed. I don't know, maybe the berry family. Something you find on the ground. Yeah, I talked up 112th seed a couple of weeks ago. $3.49 is a pretty good price for that. Jump Step, $2.49, which is a weird one because even if you follow the guide, a lot of people have said they messed up and had to start over. I'm included in that one. But it's an interesting little thing if you're into programming, learning a little mini programming. And there was one game on there that I had never played called Hard Cube, but it looked like some of you did. It's $3.49. 0 to 1 hours. You guys know anything about it?
Hard Cube?
Nope.
Do you remember it, Corey?
Yeah, I played it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Is that the one
Yeah.
you streamed?
No.
He streamed a game called Rogue Cube.
That's what I'm thinking, yes.
Yeah, Hard Cube is like a marbly game. Marble
it
Madness type. No. I think I did
Cube?
it in an hour.
Oh. All right, well,
Let me see. Hard
interested.
Cube. Yeah, $3.49 normally, $7. I started at 9:39 and I finished at 9:19, so about 50 minutes.
Wow, that's bad. And then a not so quick game that I have been playing lately, coincidentally, is Infinite Mini Golf. It is $6 instead of $15. I must have won this game in a contest because it was on my Xbox and I don't remember buying it, so that's fun. But I noticed that it had some real good TAD for the GTACT. So there's an achievement for for winning an online match, and then 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, all achievements with great TAD. And then there's another one for rating 100 community holes, which sounds pretty bad, but you could just rate a hole and then hit next, and then rate a hole and hit next, and it's not so bad. And then there's another one for rating, having your hole rated 10 times. So if you make a hole and then log in a bunch of alts and rate it, it's not so bad. So in not so much time, I wound up with 330 gamer score worth 781 TA. So it was a good 400 so TA to start the week, because this is the big week to get the badge into GTASC. So if anyone picks up this game and needs some help with the online, let someone else know.
Well then.
No, of course, I'll help it. Let me know. I'll help read it. I'll log in some alts. Always happy to help. Love our community, and I love multiplayer boosts.
How about you, Nate? What you got?
Yes. So, there's Machinarium, $5.99 down from $15. This is a point and click 2 to 3 hour, 1,221 TA romp. I seem to remember playing this on the PC when it first came out, and I don't think I finished it. But I love this type of game, and I would probably play without a guide initially. That's just me. But if you just want the gamer score, it does say 2 to 3 hours. It's probably with a guide. There's Golazo, which I want it to be spelled Goal for like Golzo, but it is a soccer game, if you couldn't tell. It's $2.99 down from $15. There are no cars, so it's just straight up soccer. 10 to 12 hours, so that might be a no for some people. And it's 1,563 TA. Looked interesting. It actually looks like a kind of a fun soccer game, and I know that's weird to hear me say. It feels weird to say it. And finally, not a great sale, but it is a sale. The Last Campfire, $12 down from $15. So it's only $3 off, but it's a great game, and I will be repeating this when it goes on a deeper sale. It's 5 to 6 hour game. It's 1,339 TA. It's listed as adventure, but I think it's more of an adventure puzzle hybrid, because you're adventuring around to find puzzles. You're exploring to find these puzzles. There's no combat, so it doesn't really fit adventure in my mind. But wow, what a great game. I love it.
Yeah, that's about the way I thought it would look like.
Golazzo!
Between the name and you recommend it, it's just like, yep, that's the you know the artwork. What you're thinking of? Yes, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 things that I am going to recommend. The first one, if you're a little bit easier game, and it's kind of for the gamer score. It's $3. It's the Gnome Garden 3-in-1 bundle. It's Gnome's Gardens, Gnome Gardens 2, and Gnome Garden 3. So you get 3 games for $3. It's 70% off. Easy gamer score there to be had. And the second bundle that I am going to recommend is the Glass Masquerade Double Pack. It is 67% off right now. It's $7.25. We've talked about this.
2 games, too.
Yeah, yes, it's 2 of them. It's Glass Masquerade 1 and 2. We've talked about these games multiple times on the podcast. They're very simple. It's just a puzzle game. And when I say puzzle game, I mean like a jigsaw puzzle, but you're making like a stained glass artwork thing. It's just a very relaxing game. It's very good to play before, maybe do a level or two before bed to help you wind down, or if you want to listen to your favorite podcasts or music or whatever. Just easy gamer score. I mean, if you really want to, there are guides for this. You can cheat it. I don't recommend doing that. Do it for the game. It's really not that long of a completion either. But as far as that goes, if you don't want to spend your money and you want to get some stuff, Game Pass news. We have 2 games coming, but not so soon. They're coming eventually. Mork. Am I saying that right?
Sure.
Mork.
Mork.
That's coming
Wow.
in December of 2020. And then Backbone is coming in sometime next year, 2021. So
Do
yeah,
you
they're
know
coming.
about Backbone?
I do not.
It's a dystopian noir adventure where
I
you play
thought you were going to say some sort of joke.
an anthropomorphic,
Yeah.
I guess,
You got
raccoon.
there.
He's a raccoon detective. So obviously, I'm excited.
Yeah, so you see Corey's angle there. Yep.
Thank you, Koosh.
But with that, there are... wait a minute.
Coming soon,
Oh.
even sooner.
Coming sooner. I totally...
Much sooner
Read
than
that.
the not too soon.
I was wondering where
I'm
you
going
were
to
going with
bed
that.
after this. Holy crap. Coming actually in the distant future. Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle, and Full Throttle all coming on October 29th.
I'm so glad you said tentacle there.
Mm-hmm.
What else would I say?
I don't know, but these are all brand new
Ventricle.
games
Day of the fan service.
to the Xbox, and they're very old games, but they've been remastered, and I know a lot of old people who are excited about them,
Hey.
and we get them all for free. Oh,
Yay,
hey,
free.
Koosh.
Hey. I'm one of those people. I'm very excited for Full Throttle. The game is great.
I like the energy drink.
These are all Tim Schafer games, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Double fine. And I'm going to revoke my old person card and say I've never played any of these games.
What?
But, I know, but I have played Maniac Mansion.
Okay.
That's not on this list.
But they're way older
Well,
than these games.
Apparently Maniac Mansion is hidden inside of Day of the Tentacle, so it's in there. But Day of the Tentacle is the sequel to such a game.
So Full Throttle came out in 1995.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
I was 4.
Throttle.
This is certainly
I'm
a
excited
game.
that it's on Xbox and Windows 10.
So this is
these
what you're going to be
games-
doing in a couple weeks at work.
Correct, sir.
I got to say, I'm looking at the rematch. Like, all of these have been out on PlayStation 4, so I'm looking at the trailers for them. Like, I like the art style they took with the remastered, but I mean, they're all point and clicks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
What?
Well,
Are they?
Yeah, they must be.
I know
It's
Day of
all-
the Tentacle is.
Yeah. These are all point and clicks as far as I know. I've never played Grim Fandango. I always wanted to, but I think it was on PC when I didn't have access to a PC. I only had access to Macs. Day of the Tentacle, I feel like I must have played that at least a little bit. And Full Throttle, I remember that game. I remember playing that game and beating it like at least 2 times on the Mac. So,
well, apparently there's a guide with commentary, 1 hour platinum on PlayStation. So I look forward to that completion.
All right. Well, with that, let's continue on. Let's get into some contests. Corey, why don't you take over on GTASC?
All right, it's my favorite time of year when we get to talk about the GTASC Lahoosers. And we did not grab them week 1. They are lost into the ether. So if you lost week 1, maybe you should reevaluate if you're worth mentioning. Moving on to week 2.
Wow. Dang.
Week 2, we lost several people. On the individual side, we lost Tropan, Matthew 00, and Wheezy Fuzz. Matthew's team also got eliminated, but TA does not do a super great job at telling me which team that was, and I cannot find it. So, Matthew, if you want me to shout out your losing team, I will do that. just let me know who that was. Tropan's team got eliminated as well, and I only remembered what team he was on because, one, he was representing Von Republic, the dead cryptocurrency achievement mashup thing.
Where's my prizes, man?
And two, I was watching them because my team was close to the line. It was last 10 minutes worth of the period struggle kind of thing. And I saw Von Republic down there below us, and they lost by, let me do some quick math, 4705 to 4694. They lost by like 9 TAD. So that's how much they were eliminated by. So number 2 team to be eliminated. So sorry about that. But yeah, keep on keeping on. We are currently in period 3. This is the big one that you have to survive to get the badge. So who knows what kind of shenanigans we might see. But this week, the bonuses for solo are unlocking 20 achievements on Xbox 360. I'm already done with that. I found a super quick game. If you have not done Goat Simulator Xbox 360, ton of achievements. You can get 20 within an hour. You can knock that out. And then super easy team bonus this week of just getting 8,000 gamer score. Should be very, very easy, especially with this week's sales.
That's one way to drive up the TAD on the week that matters. Yay! Give us a rundown real quick on the Gamertag Challenge.
Gamertag Challenge is still going on for the month of October. It's Dark Lord Davis is the tag you're looking for. The chosen game is Amnesia Collection. And his bonus is the Swear Jar. Any achievement containing a swear word or censored swear word is worth 1 point. Limit 1 per game.
All right. And with that, let's take it into Brag Camp. Take it away, Corey.
All right. For completions, we have Milky Bars Are On Me. That name will never, ever not make me smile. He's reached a new milestone of 10 completed games. That can't be right. Is that right? Did we fact check that?
That's what it said. That's what the milestone.
This is the man with like 6,000 started games, 10 completed games. I need to check that.
Yep, that's right. He came into Bright Camp. He's like, "Look, I completed a game, guys." Yeah.
Good.
I just copy and pasted. That's what it
on
said.
Milky Bars then for 10 completed games. Chesno has hit 150 completed games, and Eliphalet 77 300 completed games for completion percentage. Doughboy E is at 34% completion percentage, and Mr. Petart is at 78 completion percentage.
In ratio, what?
I was going to say in ratio.
In ratio, Xlax Jester, also known as LA Jester, has reached a new milestone, a TA ratio of 1.6. And in streaks, we have, allow me to do some quick maths, as the Euros say, Legohead 1977, KooshMoose, ZZ Urban Spaceman, EOJ, Mr. Petart, Mrs. Petart, and Freemhole are currently on a 10-day achievement win streak. So good on us. NBA Kirkland in a real streak on 125 days, a Heizo with 275 days, and Seamus McLimey with 1,475 days. Good job.
4 achievements won. Hawkeye Berry, 9,500. Milky Bars Are On Me, 10,500. Philip Wendell, 11,000. Mike Pitch, 17,000. Big L, 20,500. Ahizo, 21,000. Mental Knight, 24,000. Wakapeil, 27,500. Triple Triad, 777, 29,500. And Toadstyle Venom, 30,500 achievements won.
Keep it up, Stan. We need you. In gamer score, Ben L 72 hit 300,000 gamer score, and I'm pretty sure he did it in some achievement with 300,000 in it, but I don't remember. Donko says hit 450,000 gamer score. P-Tart 450,000 gamer score, and Enigma Gamer 500,000 gamer score. And good old Ahizo also reached 500,000 gamer score whilst completing Mass Effect 2 at the same time. And he's been talking about that one forever, so now he finally did it. And in TA score, the Alpha Seagull, 85,000, Fuath, 175,000, Ella Follette, 600,000, Ben L, 72, and Northern Lass, 700,000, Lego Head, 1,200,000. Mental Knight doesn't like these weird numbers, so I'm going to read it out on purpose. 1,350,000. 1,350,000. All right, I'll just leave
something like that.
That might be a little high. Might have to report him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a hacker anyway. Jimbot, 1,800,000. Leaderboards. Mr. Xlax in the top 20,000 of gamer score and all of True Achievements. And Skeptical Mario is number 1 in his favorite category on TA, platformer plus roguelite.
Nice.
Which I think has like 6 games in it. But
No. It's got more than that. I could tell you, maybe. Come on. Link's has 17 games in it, buddy. One of which you cannot get any achievements in. Goner went in.
How did you find that so quickly?
You click his leaderboard
Google
link
Foo?
that shows his number 1, and you see 17 games, and you can click on that little image.
Wow, you have good Google Foo, which is better than regular Foo. Love you, Foo.
Hey.
Hold on, I'm clicking that. I want to see what's on there.
You have the likes of Dead Cells, the stack, and the console version. 20XX, Devious Dungeons, apparently. Both of them are on there. Downwell.
Oh, yes. I knew I wanted to mention something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say I love Devious Dungeon and Devious Dungeon 2.
Oh, yeah, they're not
Downwell.
great. Downwell,
That's why I love it. Hey.
Dragon, Drago Dino, Flint Hook, Goner, Rift Keeper, which that is one. So he played 3 games, the time, like right before his milestone, and then one was Rift Keeper. We got one achievement in 20XX, and the other one I think was Flint Hook. He had just started, but he got a lot of stuff in one day in Rift Keeper. So that's on my radar now. But he played that. In that category, you also have Risk of Rain, Rogue Stormer, Spelunky, Swindle, Vertical Drop Heroes HD, and Xenon Valkyrie Plus.
Holy cow, he completed that game. That game is hard, Valkyrie.
If you have any questions about any of those games, Skeptical is your man. Don't go to Redemption. He's a pleb in this category.
He completed the Swindle also. Jeez.
He's a beast.
Well,
He likes
man.
He likes his platformer plus roguelike.
I don't know, you can't preload those too much. And in getting that number 1, he beat his original goal of being number 1 by December 31st, 2021. So he crushed it. And Mental apparently had a goal to be 1080th on the completed games leaderboard.
I love that.
That can't be right.
It is right. It seems that
Mental.
he's tracking it. I saw a lot of goals on his thing there. I'm trying to find it now. It looks like it's rolled off of the status on his friend feed, but he has a lot of goals in place, so he's very much tracking the completions leaderboard. So he made his goal for that one.
Good job, guys. And good job, everyone, with those milestones. Well, that ends this portion of the show for us. Thank you all for listening. Be sure to tune in for all the following segments that we have. If you would like to get in contact with us, be sure to send us a Twitter tweet on the Twitter at Achievements101. Come hang out with us all in Discord, discord.io/AH101. Check out the streams that we do. Like I said, Corey and I just streamed Among Us for like 3 hours Sunday night. Twitch.com/AH101. And if you can help us out, we would greatly appreciate it. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/achievementhunting101. We're on all the places. Just type in Achievement Hunting 101 in the Bing. Get your 5 Microsoft points. And follow, like, review, subscribe, all the things on all the platforms. We would greatly appreciate it.
Make sure to hit that punch card first.
Hit that punch card first. And with that, class is dismissed. See you next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Hello everyone, I'm Wakapeil, and I have been simultaneously competing in the Xbox Hall of Fame, Leapfrog, and the GTACT. Trying to synergize the competitions, I stumbled upon the 2D platformer with 3D graphics Shiny. Shiny was released back in 2017, but had unobtainables until it was patched at the end of September 2020. It is a simple, fairly easy platformer with tons of collectibles, mostly hiding in plain sight. It has 21 levels accessible through level select, where you can easily tell what levels you might have missed any collectibles. The levels are usually around 5 minutes, and the completion took me just over 3 hours, playing on the easy setting, rarely consulting a guide besides when I had, or thought I had, missed a collectible. Shiny has 49 achievements worth 1000 game score and 2000 TA with an estimated completion of 3 to 4 hours. This makes it an excellent candidate for Leapfrog and GTACT and not half bad for the now expired Hall of Fame. I'd give it a miss at its usual sales price of $15, but it has frequently been deeply discounted and recently as low as $1.49. The story and gameplay is not exactly exciting and appears to be targeted towards younger players, but it is not terrible and will likely keep you engaged enough to secure the completion. I found the worst aspect of the game was how zoomed in the camera was, preventing me to see the collectibles and platforms I had to jump to. After cursing the camera for a few levels, I realized you could use the right stick to look around. It is not ideal, but learning this made the rest of the levels significantly easier, as I did not have to make any more leaps of faith to see if there were any hidden platforms below me. Have a nice day, everyone!
I do not have any more time to spend on this foolishness.